Welcome back. You are still watching the Conversation Committee from TV360 here in Lagos, Nigeria. My name still remains Nelson Ekujimi, and I still have with me in the studio Alhaji Comrade Razak Kolade Lokoba, Paul Lale Kola Okeo. Comrade Lokoba, thank you for staying with us today.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yes, we want to look at the recent, upheaval in the polity here in Nigeria. And it's with regards to the Nigerian Bar Association. An allegation has been, hanged on the neck of the NBA with regards to its annual general conference. If you want to know, the Nigerian Bar Association declared that he was moving its AGC from Rivers State to Enugu State because, in its word, it doesn't want to affirm the unconstitutionality of the imposition of a state of emergency and the suspension of democratic institutions in Rivers State for 6 months by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in line with constitutional provisions, because under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Section 305, the president is empowered to declare a state of emergency in any part of Nigeria where there's threat to law and order. And the situation in Rivers State, for the information of our viewers, we have seen a lot of persons come up and question that the situation in Rivers had not degenerated to warrant a declaration. Well, the right to determine whether the situation is enough to warrant the declaration of a state of emergency is vested only in Mr. President. And we must recognize that the information at the disposal of Mr. President, millions, if not trillions of us, we don't have it. So Mr. President has exercised his rights under the Constitution, and he has received kudos for acting swiftly to avert a total breakdown of law and order, as well as an assault on our economic life. You recollect that about 2 pipelines were bombed during that period. And when the NBA decided to move the AGC from Port Harcourt on the basis of principle, the administrator of Rivers State, retired Admiral Ibas, also appealed to them that on the basis of principle, the NBA should also return the 300 million naira she collected.
And that was why the chairman of the planning committee said that no, it is not a fee to host
money
conference there.
Yes.
It was a donation.
It was a gift.
You see, if you are running something in my state, I will gladly assist you as a governor. And if you are shifting it on the basis of lack of recognition for the authority that is on ground, its government is continuous. So I see no principle that they are quoting. I see there's no principle there. You see, the concern I have is with the kind of institution like NBA is that they have to speak to reality.
They have become partisan.
We have gotten to a point of precipice, and they didn't admit that. That's my concern. Of course, if the situation calls for a situation where you can be either on the side of the left or on the side of the right, fine. But there's no side the two of us will take that we must not recognize where we find ourselves in Rivers, which is a precipice where we have gotten to the edge.
Absolutely.
And it is likelihood that if it's not handled carefully, it may consume the state and it may spiral to other regions.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And that's a threat to not our democracy.
National security.
National security. So I don't want to add to anybody to add to the crisis we have at the moment. Look at what's happening in Benue, Plateau, all over Nigeria. We are going through a low-scale war. So, and the concern is now that what will NBA have advised the president to do? That's missing in all the people that have challenged with the Rivers outcome. If they had say, okay, there's no way we could have done that. But to say that Fubara should still be there. And the way Fubara is acting, in the case that he may not be able to resolve that crisis, he may have been impeached if he had been there for another 72 hours. Imagine what will have happened.
And
So-
maybe only God knows
So
what
we
will
will
have
have said,
happened.
oh, it is true, the president did not explore this angle. We are not supposed to have done this. Nobody has said that, of all the people that are saying that what the president has done is not correct. What they are enjoying that Fubara should have still be there. Doing what?
I wonder.
To still be doing what?
In fact, come and look about in section 305, subsection 3C. That subsection of the Constitution says that the president shall deploy extraordinary measures. People have come out to say, in fact, I watched the NBA president when immediately President Bola Ahmed Tinubu declared the emergency. He went on TV, on national TV, saying that the president should not have that. In 2014 thereabout, President Jonathan declared in Adamawa, Yobe, and
What is the
Borno,
presidency?
and that he didn't tamper with the democratic structure. And for his information and the information of our viewers, the crisis in Borno, Yobe, and Adamawa at that time was because of terrorism.
Yes, not
Not because the executive and the
institutions.
legislature.
It's not about the institutions.
It was not about the institutions. So
It was nefarious actors.
Yes, it was
not a state structure.
Yes,
Institutions like the executive and the parliament.
Yes. So in Rivers State,
it is a fight against institution that is not governmental.
yes. So when a state of emergency is declared, it's declared to address a problem.
Yes.
In Rivers State, in Adamawa, Yobe, and Borno, when Goodluck Jonathan declared the state of emergency, it was to fight the insurgents.
Yes.
In Rivers, the protagonist of the crisis was the executive and the legislature.
Because so it's a peculiar case.
It's a peculiar, and it is very clear.
Very, very peculiar.
So people are trying to mix up just to confuse people.
And if you are trying to address a wound, you must be specific to applying medication to the wound.
Yes. You can't just have a wound here.
Yes.
And you take, maybe there's a medication they say you should rub it.
You now rub it on your face.
You now rub it like this. You turn into a body cream. So nobody does that.
The element here is the executive and the legislature.
And legislature.
Nobody touches the judiciary.
Nobody. Yeah, the president didn't do that.
And you see, citizenship is not only about pushing responsibility to the government, I mean the president, the governor. It's also about guiding our president. We are happy that the president listens to the wisdom of people like me and you, and millions of other Nigerians that he must do something.
Absolutely.
Because if he had not done anything and something untoward happened in River, we are going to hold him responsible.
Absolutely.
People are going to hold him responsible.
Of course.
And you see, that's a threat to our democracy. Already we have a lot of challenge in the country that if it were 20 years ago, the irresponsible khaki boys will have used that as opportunity.
As an opportunity.
But it cannot happen today again.
Yes.
They saw the wisdom and so everybody became reasonable and sensible that no coup again. We are not going to survive it. So if you have not done anything, we are losing our country gradually. The country is going, because when your democracy is in shambles, it's going to hamper on governance. And it's been hampering on governance. The people of Rivers State want to see good roads. They want
security. They want the good things of life.
To complement what Odili has done, Amechi has done, what Wike has done. You are not complimenting anything. The first thing you do in complimenting their work is to go and put out the parliament. And nobody has seen anything that's a very dangerous trend in our democracy.
No, even the Supreme Court, the Federal High Court declared...
We have not seen the danger in that.
The Federal High Court gave a judgment against the governor with regards to the appropriation. And again, when some people have even come out to say the governor that gave her that money was a democratically elected government, but that the money should not be returned to a government or an administration that is not democratically. And I've also educated those who care to be educated, that for the 2 years that Governor Fubara was in office, before his suspension, there was no government.
There was no government.
The Supreme Court said,
even the admitted government, there was no appropriation.
Suspended Governor Fubara was acting illegitimately and unconstitutionally
in
touching public funds without appropriation.
On every kobo he has spent.
He has not. No legislator scrutinized and approved it. So it was a robbery
that is not appropriated.
Yes,
because there might be a fund set aside for that kind of thing. It was not appropriated.
Yes. So how can anybody be justifying
don't let
such
us
illegality?
Begin to complicate our problem. We become a laughing stock to the rest of the world. We are
because of our political bias.
Guiding democracy of Africa. We are supposed to be a leading example. But look at what is happening in Ghana close by.
Yes.
running their democracy very smoothly.
Of course.
Recently,
The ruling party has lost, the opposition has
the
come.
The incumbent party lost in Germany.
Yes.
We didn't see any, no
Nobody.
noise, everybody accepted
Even
their
in
fate and they
Portugal.
move on. In Portugal. And they move on.
They moved on.
It is only here that if it is not in your favor,
Heaven
democracy must collapse.
Heaven must fall.
We are not going to accept that. All of us built the democracy where it is today. Nobody asked to make over that democracy.
Yes,
we are all in it.
Yes.
We will begin to build barricades around our democracy.
So please, we are appealing. We want to add our voice to the voice of reason that the NBA, the money, the 300 million given to them by suspended Governor Fubara of Rivers State was because they wanted to hold the AGC in Rivers State. And if they have deemed it fit, it is within their right, it is within the right of the NBA to hold their AGC wherever they deem fit. Is their property. But if you have collected the money of the people of Rivers State
and taken it to somewhere on principle,
and you want to take it to somewhere else, it is immoral. There's no principle in that.
Then you should return the money also based on principle.
There's no principle. But well, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we want to call it a wrap on the conversation today. We've had a wonderful conversation. Until we come your way again next time, please continue to watch the conversation on TV 360 here in Lagos, Nigeria. Have a great day. Bye-bye.